Moral, when we started the party, one of the things that we campaigned on and stood for was that this country needs stability. And we're looking at government as a whole, and we cannot only look at individuals, because if you do something that is not right, it doesn't mean that, right away we're going to throw down a government for that. And so I would say that if a lot in our manifesto deals with stability, and I can assure you that that's what we bring as one of the very important issues to government and to the table, that we're not there to, look for our own gain, but we're there to ensure that government can proceed. And I think that that's important. I see in all ministries when you hear of, things that get left undone, things that were started but couldn't continue because of the frequent governments that we've had. We need to have an opportunity. Samar needs that opportunity to have a government for the long haul, where you can work on things, clean up certain things, but if you don't get that opportunity, you always get that instability. And the St. Martin Christian Party, I believe, is the party that brings the stability. We still stand by our principles, but principles towards persons or principles towards the country.
But what difference?
The country is more important than a person.
But what difference does it make if your party said it's not going to work with the US party, but you're supporting a government whereby the leader was arrested and other members, MPs in the coalition also were arrested, and people are saying, well, what's happening? Because Smith said he's not going to support any government like that, and then it's like, you don't want to do what you said you were going to do for one party, but you do it for the other one.
I think that what we said about the party was taken out of context.
Okay.
And given what was said at that time, we indicated that we'd rather have a broad-based government, a government that would include everybody. And if we include everybody, then all the parties are included. But, we, during, the formation of the government, we would have preferred, and at one point indicated that we'd rather be in the opposition, not in government. However, when we discussed with the party that we're in coalition with, that the party leader was very open and said, look, there could be interrogation down the road. And one of the things we said was, for what happened in the past, we cannot undo. But we are a party that would be looking for honesty, transparency, integrity in the government in the future. And I must say that within the Council of Ministers, I must commend, the ministers and our Prime Minister for the stands that she takes. I believe that she's a woman who believes very strongly and acts very strongly according to those principles of honesty, integrity, and transparency. It doesn't always come across so. And no matter what you do, if you're in government or whoever, there will be always criticism. And a lot of people will think you're not doing anything or you're not doing it the right way. But as a person, you need to know exactly what decisions you take, why you take them, and you follow the principles that you stand for. When I first became minister, discussions with the World Bank indicated that, schools were not necessarily their priority. There was funds available to take care of emergencies, and even those funds are not yet have not yet been made available to us. They've been allocated some $5.5 million have been made available for the emergency repairs, and so technical expertise, they're still busy doing that. We had hoped that we would have been able to start with those repairs, which would have included the repairs of windows, doors, roofs, electrical, plumbing. Finally, we were close to having it done this summer, and then the procedure changed again, whereas hopefully now, maybe towards November, we would be able to start with those. So that is one aspect of the monies. Another aspect is monies from insurance. So the insurance company gave an advance to the government because all of the government buildings were insured under one premium, one policy. And that took some time to sort that out, and my predecessor made sure that for some of the school boards, the subsidized school boards, that they got some money to do repairs, because it's easier for a school board to handle money than for the government. The government has a longer process of tendering and so on. So finally, when the government agreed that some of the assurance money would be allocated to the repairs of schools, then we had to go through a long process of tendering. The ministry doesn't have expertise in that area, so we're dependent on VROMI for that. And VROMI is also short-staffed. So it took some time. What I did as minister, I developed or drafted an inventory of all the buildings that fall under the ministry, school buildings, culture buildings, sports facilities, and the amount that we calculated to repair those buildings roughly would be about $74 million. That was submitted to the Trust Fund, World Bank Steering Committee, and they, in the month of July, committed $35 million to the project. So not the full project of $74 million, but $35 million, of which $5 million or $5.5 million would go towards the psychosocial programs that would be initiated and executed through the UNICEF, and the other $30 million would be divided amongst government schools and private schools, and also especially the cultural building, the library.